Hi there everyone, Coach Alexa here. Final video in my little mini series about things that impact your running that aren't just the running. And the final one we're going to talk about is life. Life and work and stress and all the other stuff that goes on that isn't running related in our lives. As a running coach, I spend a lot of time thinking about loading. And loading from a running perspective, because it's a repetitive, high impact sport, is predominantly that impact loading. So, you're landing 3 or 4 times your body weight, coming back up your leg for the bone and muscular and joint structures to have to deal with. So I'm constantly trying to find the balance between challenging people enough to progress them, but not too much that we start to break them. So there's another way of looking at loading though, and that's taking into account a much bigger picture of people's lives and what's going on outside of just the running. So as an example, earlier this year, I had a bit of a chat with one of my runners at the start of January, and they're an accountant. They work primarily with self-assessment, and that means that there's a big deadline of the end of January. Everyone's getting their accounts into them at the last minute, and it becomes very busy, very stressful, lots of deadlines, lots of long hours at work. So, she's running a spring marathon, but is January the time for me to really start challenging her with longer runs? Well, possibly not. I might creep the mileage up a little bit, but I probably wouldn't put that mileage up for that runner as much as I would do everybody else, because I know that she's going to have this whole other load picture happening in January, 12 to 14 hour days, quite stressful. So those stress hormones are really high. They will slow down our recovery rate in between each session. So just think about everything else that's going on in your life, sort of work, family, home, all the other things that go in and how they sort of interplay on your running. It's nice to be able to use running as a bit of an escapism from that, but if you make the running too challenging alongside other challenging things that are happening in life at the same time, then sometimes it can be a little bit of a recipe for overload, for fatigue, for poor training performance, but also just more sort of stress and kind of low mood when you're going about your day-to-day life. So just have a little bit of a think maybe at the start of each month when you're looking ahead at your training plan about what other things might be impacting you in that month, sort of time away or looking after family members or work or whatever it might be, or more than happy to work with you from a coaching perspective to help you keep that balance correct throughout the year. Hope that's helpful.